2017, we had 174 attendees, 2018, 276, and then 2019, we decided to do it more like a market, and we had 94 registered from our database, so we also included the community, that one as well. So we didn't ask them to register because we didn't have those people's emails. We just kind of put on social and we just said to show up. So we just invited the database to that. So that one, we turned our garage into like a workshop, and we used that as where Santa was. And then we had vendors in the driveway where people could shop and buy things from local vendors, which was great. Then 2020 happened and so on. So we haven't actually done our Christmas event since then.
Will you be adding that back in?
We plan to do it this year, yes, but we want to do it at a venue, not at our office. Our office is also tricky because we don't have parking. So a lot of the parking is like in the neighborhood behind us, which can be tricky. So we want to do it at a venue instead of at our office. So that is on our radar for this year. We are also doing this year the movie day, which is in next Saturday. So we're right now at 86 confirmed attendees for that. And then we're doing our first ever, we're switching from a Canada Day, we're doing what's called the summer solstice party. So to kick off the summer, and that's going to be in June. So we have 3 events this year. We also started doing micro events this year. So Bobby and I hosted our first one. We did a yoga event, and we had 15 attendees at our first micro event. So yeah, and we plan to do another one of those in the fall.
Okay.
I'm kind of puking information here. So.
So how do you guys go about marketing your event?
So when we are just doing it to our database, it just gets emailed out to our database. Closer to the event, we will put stuff on social media, but it's only in terms of thank you, because we like to try to have sponsors. That is a huge thing in doing events, is to have sponsors. So all of your mortgage agents, your lawyers you deal with, ask them for money. They have money that they allot dearly for these things, and they are more than welcome to usually sponsor. I generally don't say to ask the same though. So if I'm going to ask a mortgage broker, I will ask one. If they say yes, I will not ask another. If they say no, I will move on to another one. Because I don't want them to feel like, oh, I'm going to be like one of 3 mortgage people that are like sponsoring this event. Personally, but that's just my kind of rule of thumb. So like our movie event, Diana Iskander is sponsoring half of that event for us. So we put her on social, but we don't put any links live because these are just client events. These aren't community events, so we don't want general public showing up.
These are your thank you to your past client.
They're just, anyone that has done business with us, referred us, or that in our sphere and that are like our cheerleaders.
Okay. Any other questions about how they promote? I'm going to ask another question.
I want to know what do you mean micro event? What is it?
So a micro event is a smaller scaled event. So yeah, we just put it out. We figured it would just be women, and it was. But we did have a couple guys that reached out that are like, oh my God, I totally would have come, but I had this, like my kids' sports or whatever on the weekend. So a micro event is just a smaller scale event.
How do you determine who is going to be like
the targeted
audience? Who's the micro? Like,
so in that one, we actually did put out the whole database because we knew it would not be for everyone.
yeah.
But I would say if you are going to do, I might categorize like through your just the women or the mothers, or like if you're going to do, or like with kids, we do have a kids tab, so we do know families.
Yeah.
So maybe if we were doing an event that like was not a family friendly event, we may just target that. Yeah. So
okay. Any other questions about how to promote events? Anybody on the call that would like a question for Ashley about how they promote events? No. My next question though is, how do you financially budget for these events every year and make sure that you're at least breaking even?
So if we're not breaking even.
Okay.
So we look at this as an expense for the business because we are giving back to our clients. So it's nothing that if it's fully sponsored, I 100% would, but that's not the case.
Okay.
So
usually you go into it knowing that when Michael does the budget for the year for the team, you guys already go into it knowing that this is going to be
like $20,000 this year will go to events.
Yes.
So if I can get most of that covered, that's great. But if I can't, we know that that's the amount. And when you look at it, if you're doing 3 events and they cost you $20,000, that's all you need is one deal to come from one of those 3 events. And that covers, that's one commission,
Mhm.
a good commission, but yes.
Yes.
So, and usually that happens. You'll get a referral. Even when you like call your database, you know, or you bump into someone, it's really soon after that, usually something comes back from it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do you, when you are doing your budget, do you set aside to say, yes, you have 20,000 for the year? Do you break it out to say,
I break it out. Like our movie day, like this year, I budgeted on 100 people. So that cost us $22,358. So half of that has been sponsored for us. So I still have
you
healthy
track
budget
each
for
one
the,
individually so that you can go back and compare and know how much that has cost you
Yeah.
previous?
like our yoga event, we just paid out of pocket. It was $330 just to rent the space and the teacher. So that was nothing.
Got it.
So the summer party will be the most expensive one, along with the Santa one this year.
Okay.
So, mhm.
Anybody have any questions about budgeting, financial, tracking each event?
Liability, when you said about the in the park one,
Yeah,
that's why you flipped over to a theater.
yeah. And we did have to get like special event insurance for that anyway. So the city of Oshawa, because it was a city park, required us to have them listed as a, what do you call it, an additional insurer for that day. So we were covered, but it just, it was a lot to police and traffic and like, it was just a lot. Yeah, and then you get people that are angry and they don't want to give their information and, you know, there's always, it's just like, one bad person can ruin it for everyone, so.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Yeah.
Anything else about financial? An event? No, anybody on the call want to ask Ashley anything on financial? No? Okay. How involved are your agents in helping you plan and then execute your event?
So Michael is the only one involved in the planning. I don't generally open up the planning to everyone because a lot of opinions and I'd rather just have a clear vision on what we're doing and then tell everyone what we're doing. And then we just expect them to be there on the day of, which they usually want to be because their clients are showing up and they want to see them face to face and thank them and, you know. So yeah, in the planning part of it, it's usually just Michael and myself. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Anything else you want to share about events?
I don't think so. I just think it's a trial and error too. So like, don't be so worried if people don't show up. If in your first one that you do, it's not a great turnout, you make it look like a really great turnout. You just like video and take photos and blast it like it was a huge success. And then your next one will be, and then you have footage to show for your next one. So I wouldn't be afraid to just try it. Because people appreciate it, and especially if those are like the main source of your business, they want to know that they're appreciated and that you care about them and you're, you know, doing something for them. Mhm.
Anybody have any questions for Ashley in general about event planning? Just talkative group today. Anybody on the call want to ask Ashley anything about event planning? No.
Does that do you guys do events?
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Actually, a really good one is dating ones for in Oshawa.
yeah, yeah.
Again, but you do need the insurance coverage.
Mhm.
It's only like $150. We went through our normal supplier.
Yeah,
But
okay.
they had a great time and they're less involvement, like just, you know,
Yeah.
they're on the ice half the time and they come in and.
And you get that little room? Yes.
Yeah,
that
with
was
the fireplace
nice.
and
Yeah,
everything. And, you know, so again, to your point, like you do craft in one area, tent in the other.
Yeah.
We actually, well, Billy did it for us, he was on ice this year, so.
I know a lot of people have been using Billy.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there anybody on the call or in the room that you currently do not do any events for your team or agents that you support? Is there anybody that does not?
You know.
Okay, anybody on the call that does not do events? Okay, a couple. So if a team wanted to look into starting to do their first event,
Mhm.
do you have some thoughts on how they would explore what type of event, time of the year, targeted audience, that they could get some ideas on if they wanted to start, how would they even begin?
Yeah, I think if knowing your database for sure, we help a lot of families. So we know that it's like the bulk of the people that we help. So a lot of people with kids. So I have kids. Most of you guys, I'm sure, have kids. So I think, you know, when it's something to do with your kids, you're like, sweet, I'll do that. If I'm free, I'll do it. Something to do. and I don't have to pay for it. So, if that is your audience, then I would just start, even like Mary said, a skating rinks, like somewhere that's self-contained, a movie theater, that you just show up on the day of, everything else is kind of taken care of for the most part. It's not a lot of planning that goes into those ones. It's when you get outside of that and you're doing like a party or a special event, then it gets to be a bit more and it's a little more daunting and there's a lot more logistics in planning it. But if you do it in somewhere that you're renting out the space, I think that that's kind of a great way to start.
I think too, if you're doing the micro one, something you enjoy, like yoga.
Yeah.
Do yoga. If you like wine testing, or do a wine trip, like whatever, and then you just bring people with you.
Yeah. Well, I know, someone mentioned when we were talking sidetrack Turkey Drive fundraising, someone did whiskey tasting a few years ago or tequila tasting, and they said it was great. And I was like, that's a really good idea too. Like just as like a night out for your client, you know, not everyone is going to come. I think people always worry about, oh my God, our database is so big too. Like not everyone's going to come, you know, like maybe a quarter of the people will come, maybe. So.
We decide who's coming to our party, so all of our parties, we have 3 a year. They're all done at Lindsay and Wendy's house.
Yeah.
And, you know, Lindsay does, so him and Wendy usually all the food. And we have pretty much all adults, at our party. But, I'm sorry, what did I start off with?
You were talking about the people who didn't invite. Yeah.
So the way we started it was we did our top 50 and then past clients. So we have kind of molded over the years to go, okay, we're still doing our top 50. Now we're going to start with who came last year. And then we're going to open it up to top clients. Because fitting 100 people in a backyard, a little difficult sometimes. Kind of streamlined it. This is how we're going to do it first.
Yeah.
So, and that kind of worked out instead of having like, okay, I'm sending out 1,800 invites to our past clients. We're starting to streamline it now.
And did you have those tags set up in your command or do you? Yeah. Yes.
And then we'll bomb it out. We'll bomb them. And
Yeah.
I can sit there. Do paper invite. So that's fun too.
I think much event is you touch your client so
Yeah.
much with one event. Like there's usually like a save the date, then there's the like initial invite, then there's the reminder invite. You usually do 2 of those, like a few weeks before, the week of. Then there's the thank you one. So there's so many touches. There's the event itself. So like right there, you're touching them so many times. It really is. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions or suggestions for those wanting to get into event planning that has not yet started? No? Okay. Anything else we want to talk about on before we move on to thank you gifts?
I just have a question. Our database would be very wide, like you're talking about Oshawa. I'm on the Dylan Jarvis team, and Dylan's client base is anywhere like Toronto all the way up to South River. So thinking about like a client, I'm just trying to figure out, like, would you guys suggest doing 2 different locations, like 2 different weekends, 2 different locations to be able to meet the needs of the wide variety of clients, locations?
Because geographically, not everybody could attend a
Yeah.
location that's probably too south or too north or too east.
I guess I would start by going through your database and see how many people are Toronto and see how many people are Barrie in area. Did you say Barrie? Yeah, an area. And if, you know, there isn't that many in one, or if it's 50-50, I might do 2. If there isn't that many in one, then I would just do 1 in one area. And if those people want to come, then they'll come. Yeah. Okay.
Anything else on event planning?
I have actually a quick question. Yeah, so right now, I don't know, I came late to the meeting, sorry about that. But we're trying to branch out our, because I know you guys are, sorry, our database, if we can join it, we're with it in regards to event planning. Would you be open? I don't know if the other teams would be open to sending out, you know, our link that we have to come to our events. if that would be an option to kind of broaden the database a little bit more in that way. Like we have some charity events. For one, we have a golf tournament coming up. And we just want to get people out there. And it's not even necessarily about that. It's like just the team. It's, you know, it could even be just Keller Williams in general. And broadening that out there and trying to get some people out to support the charity and whatnot. I don't know if that would be an option, you know, for as well as other teams to kind of team up in that way.
So I'm the market center administrator in the Oshawa branch. What I would suggest is reach out to Stephanie in Barrie and see how the brokerage can also support promoting your charity events that you're putting on. Because there could be some collaboration that the brokerage can do as well for you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, anything else on event planning? We're good? All right, so now we're going to go into thank you gifts. So that could be client closing thank you gift, it could be referral thank you gift, it could be event planning thank you gift, whatever you guys kind of put under that umbrella.
Okay. So we do, I guess, 3 different type of gifts. I would say we have our closing gift, we have our referral gift, and then we just this year started doing a monthly giveaway to our database. So that's another gift that they get. So closing gifts, we're pretty basic. We give a $200 gift card to the KWEx for anyone that closes a home with us. If it is an estate sale and there are multiple people on title, we give $100 to each of the people. So closing gifts are pretty simple for us. Our referral, as soon as somebody refers us, so Heather says, Nikki, use the McDougall team, and Nikki gives us a call and books the CMA, we send Heather a Starbucks gift card as a thank you for saying our names.
How much?
$20. Yep. If Nikki uses us and we close the deal with her, then they get our referral box. So Nikki or Heather would then get delivered to her house. So we have our boxes, which I brought in. So we had these made up a few years ago. So it's branded to our staff. It's just a DIT appreciation. We got this idea from Richard Robbins, Master's Academy. Sent these boxes out a couple of years ago, and they were just really lovely. So I got the contact of where they had them made. So this one's empty, but we fill it up with, they get 2 Yeti wine tumblers, they get a bottle of wine, and then a bunch of candy and chocolate in there as well. And we deliver it to their door for them. So that if someone referred someone that closes a deal with us, they get that box. So this year we started doing monthly giveaways. So we were doing newsletters. We do 3 newsletters a month. So we do a lot. And we were like, how can we change one of them to maybe increase the open rate? And we got this idea at Masters Academy this year. There was an agent that increased her open rate of her emails by doing giveaways every month. And we were like, oh my God, that seems like a lot. But when you think about it, there's actually pretty inexpensive things that you can do. And you can also try to get these things sponsored from your vendors and referral partners. So January, we did tickets to Disney on Ice. I don't have the open rate, but it goes out to just under 700 people. We had only 20 people enter into that draw. The next one we did was, sorry, I made it. Yeah, they enter the draw. So we send out an email to the database. It's Michael, he does the video. Okay. We're giving away free Disney on Ice tickets this Friday. It goes out on a Monday, we draw on Friday. Anyone that replies to this email with the answer of what was the first Disney movie gets entered in. So people actually have to reply with the answer to get entered in. So once they answer, even if it's wrong, we enter them into the group. So that one had 20 people. The next one we did was referred by Teria. We did Sarah Maya Spa gift card. I don't have the open rate on that as well because we were doing it in BombBomb and we kept using the same email. Since then we've changed it, but we had 26 people enter into that draw. So that one was good. The next one was our Easter one. We had 328 opens and 35 plays on that one. And we gave away 4 tickets to the Easter brunch at Pingle Market. So only 13 people entered that one, and we think it was because it was actually on Easter. Maybe a lot of people had plans that day. So, but anyways, you learn different things. The last one we did was Mother's Day. We had a 338 open, 60 plays, and 41 people entered that draw. And we gave away a $200 gift card to the Brock House. Yeah. So
Good odds if you're entering the
Yeah.
draw, just because there's not a, it's not like 500
No.
people are entering.
yeah, and every time there's a video that they have to watch to answer the question that's in the video. The question's
Mhm.
not typed out. It's Michael saying the question, so they have to actually watch the video and then reply to the email.
And this is only an email sent to your database. You don't
Only-
promote it on
no,
social media.
No, it's just to our database.
Okay.
So this month we're doing a Father's Day giveaway, so we're giving away a gift cards to Kegs. For July, one of our clients has offered to donate 4 Blue Jays tickets, so we're doing Jays tickets for July. For August, we have Canada's Wonderland tickets that we're giving away. I think that's all we have up to. We had kind of planned a few months in advance.
This is the first year you're doing
First year we're
monthly?
doing it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're trying to get them sponsored as well. Yeah. So like the Disney on Ice, I think it was like $150 for 4 tickets to Disney on Ice. The Mother's Day brunch was the $200 gift card. The Father's Day will be $200. This all was donated. Easter, again, I think that was like $150 for Pingle. So it's not that expensive.
It's not that expensive,
Yeah.
but you're keeping your database engaged.
Yes,
And
yeah.
keeping your brand top of mind because it's another touch to
Mhm.
that.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, so we just enter them all into like a wheel thing and we pick a winner every month. And then usually those people will send us a photo and then we include their photo in the next month. Like these were our
Okay.
winners of last month at their events that they went to, and then we put out the new one that they're doing.
Great.
Mhm.
Is that something you guys think it's gonna go next year as well? Like,
So yeah, it's doing well. And like just the fact that one of our clients has reached out to say, hey, I want to sponsor one of them, like that in itself is great too. So if we have more people that are like, hey, I want to, we recognize sponsors in the email, it goes out to just over 700 people or just under 700 of our VIPs. So that's 700 people seeing their stuff. So yeah, that's good. Yeah.
okay, any questions
I
for
have a question.
Ashley?
Hey, Ashley, it's Robin. Um, when you send out your $200 gift card as a closing gift, I missed what the
Yes.
gift card was for, first of all.
Okay. The cake.
Oh, okay. And do you like, is that how do you handle that? Do you drop it off in person with like a handwritten card or?
We mail it out. So Christina does all of those. So we have like a handwritten thank you card. And then we mail it to them.
Okay,
you
so it's
buy
just like
an
a
actual
standardized.
The online.
Yeah, we buy a card, so they get an actual gift card. Yeah. And then we track it all in Command Social, right? Like gift card sent, closing gift sent or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Robin.
No, it was helpful.
That was good? Okay. Anybody else want to ask anything about thank you gifts? No? Okay, anything else you want to share about that?
No, I don't think, I had the like breakdown of what this box costs us. It's about $120 for the box that we sent out.
How many did you give out last year, do you think, roughly?
For girls, I knew I brought it for. I will get that to you in a moment.
Okay.
Under 20, I would say.
Under 20, okay. So not crazy expensive, but impactful when you drop it off, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Because I know I've seen your socials where you guys will showing up at the house, dropping it on their doorstep and stuff.
Yes. And during COVID, we started doing this, not with these boxes because we hadn't seen this yet, but we did, the keg was doing celebration kits during
Yeah.
COVID. So we would reach out and say, hey, we want to drop a meal off from the keg. What would you prefer? Because there were different options you could do. So they would then reply saying what they wanted, and then we would call the keg, get their custom box, and then we would deliver it. We had to coordinate that one more. We had to make sure they were home. We couldn't leave it outside because there was leaves in it. And yeah, so we would deliver those during COVID. Mhm. That's good.
All right. Anybody else on the phone want to ask anything before we go into breakout? No? Okay. All right, Joby, if you want to take us away to breakout, that would be amazing. Right.
Hi, Tyler. I haven't received a response. Can you confirm which office are you from? Tyler, can you hear me?
Hey, how do I get to a breakout room?
Hi, Tyler. Yeah, can you confirm which office are you from? Are you from Advantage Energy or Experience?
Oh, I'm from Vancouver office.
I see. All right. So I will try to, yeah, assign you to either of the 3 offices.
Yeah, either one is fine. That's fine.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.